week or so ago, you know that in my personal experience, I've known about this issue for many, many years. It came back up and passed through the Senate. We worked, those of us on the House side tried very hard to get the City of Charlotte to come and work with us on some compromise language. Our goal all along had been to do what was best for the airport and, if possible, to avoid a lawsuit. We batted a number of ideas around and at various times submitted the gist of what you have before us to various members of the City Council and received no response. Last night, we thought there was some new openness. I won't go into details about what happened, but apparently it was or wasn't new openness. But in the meantime, we had gone ahead and drafted what we thought will answer as many of the city's objections to the bill that was passed before, while at the same time addressing our concerns about the governance of the airport. And hopefully avoid a lawsuit. Sounds like a win-win-win, which is what I thought we had when we came in here, however, 2 hours ago. So upon conference with members of the Senate, other people involved with the airport, we have decided it's such a good bill, and it really does address what we understand are the concerns of the city, and what we understand are the concerns of the public, and what we understand are the concerns of the people who wanted to change governance of the airport, that we're going to run it anyway. So here is what we have created. We hope you will support it. And I hope one day the City Council of Charlotte will acknowledge that this was a good deal. So, what we're going to do is create the Charlotte Douglas International Airport Commission under the City of Charlotte. The assets will be owned by the city. The city will then still continue to manage issues regarding bonds and anything with eminent domain. The city will have a majority of the 13 appointments, 3 from the mayor, 4 from the City Council. 2 of those members will still be West Side residents. The other 6 will be county appointees for the regional area around the counties. Where possible, we've asked that those appointees have expertise in airport types of issues. So the city will get that. In exchange, that commission will then have full control over the finances of the airport, which had been the concern of the airport people. They will dictate the budget, and since the revenue for the airport is supposed to stay with the airport anyway, it will continue to do that. They will also have the control over the hiring and firing of employees. In the interim, there will be a transition where this commission may then lease those employees from the city until we can make that transfer as seamless as possible. I'm going to ask Jerry if, we also added at what we think, we'll still know, but what we think is a request of some members of the City Council, a board, a committee that will be appointed, and they will serve for 2 years, and their job, we're calling it an oversight committee. It will be appointed, 1 by the governor, 1 by the Speaker of the House, 1 by the President Pro Tem, 1 by the mayor, 1 by the City Council, and these people will participate in the open meetings, and at the end will provide a report to the City Council and to that commission of how they're moving forward in this transition and whether or not they're addressing the concerns that were stated by the city's consultant. The city hired a consultant who also said we ought to do some things differently. And so this group will look over it and come back and report back and say either they think it's going well or it's not. And then at the end of that 2-year period, if everybody's happy with the report, that committee goes away. Jerry, is there anything else I missed?
I was just going to say that
you recognize, thank you, sir.
That the structure, the basic structure of this legal structure is similar to the local act under the city charter that created the Regional Convention and Visitors Bureau, which operates the auditorium, convention center, and other facilities with a board appointed by the council and adopts its own budget as if it were a public authority. But still, all those facilities are still owned by the city, so it's very similar in that respect to the city, to the charter amendment the council asked for over the last 20 or 30 years concerning those other city facilities, which are still owned by the city.
And one important thing, when this becomes law, it will repeal the legislation that we filed the other day. Part of that was we still thought the airport authority legislation was a great idea, but we did not anticipate that the city would fire what they self-proclaimed was their top-notch airport aviation director. So frankly, this is an idea I've liked for probably 2 months, but couldn't get either side to really come together around. And so when it looked like everything was coming together last night, we put it together, and now it's before you. And all the ones who are still talking to each other think it's a great idea and are ready to move forward. And like I said, I think it addresses all the stated objections of the city regarding takings and bonds, while addressing all the concerns of the authority people of making sure that the finances stay separate and that the hiring and firing policies stay separate. I urge your support.
All right. Discussion among members of the committee. Representative Moffitt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.